Adrenaline in my soul. Wait for me to start the show. Hey, we got Cody Rhodes, you guys. We have him in the beginning. We have him in the middle, the end, and the story. It's going to continue, you guys. I feel like right now is the best moment to be a mark when it comes to the American Nightmare. And that's what we're going to cover today, you guys. It's going to be a timeline based off where it all started to where it developed and where it's going to go. You guys damn well know. The Rock wants that title. You know, Randy Orton wants to play back some stories, but that is all going to be determined right now. Whoa! First things first, we need to start where it all started, and that being right there with this man, Dusty Rhodes. Yes, he had a dream, and he actually had a dream following after a dream, and then after a dream. The last kid right here. And this is actually a brand new custom, you guys. So if you guys are stopping by for the first time, definitely drop a like. If you guys enjoyed Cody Rhodes, customs, ultimates, elites, it's going to cover all that, man. I actually love this formula. I do think that it's working pretty good. This is that Jake the Snake Ultimate Edition figure mixed in with, what was it, Ric Flair boots. We got some knee pads in the green. Really no paint apps required. And this was kind of his debut attire. He ended up showing it on Monday Night Raw right there alongside his pops, and then they started trickling some ideas through. They said, oh, I got a great idea, you guys. How about we put him up alongside Randy Orton? Now, this team right here, this was called Legacy. This is kind of where it all started right here, where he got the show going, and it was actually quite promising. I truly thought that Legacy was going to develop into something great, but eventually they broke up. Randy Orton ended up turning on him, and then these two were kind of on their own, and it was kind of like a boat that was a sinking ship, and there was no paddle to get out of there. So these two right here, Ted DiBiase, Cody Rhodes, three of the greatest legends. Yeah, they trickled some nutsack down a lady's insides, and then they ended up coming out to being these guys. But here's the thing. Since it didn't play out, they needed it to evolve into something quite possibly, I don't know, man. This is hard times to say the least. This figure right here specifically specifies what Cody Rhodes was going through, man. There was hard times without a shadow of a doubt. And this lad right here, he wasn't happy, man. Matter of fact, I feel like he was so upset that he's like, dude, we need to get the hell out of here. And that's kind of what Triple H ended up telling him. He actually ended up going to him backstage, and he's like, if you want to do something here in the future, you need to leave this company. And that's not something you want to hear from your boss. And I'm pretty sure that that was probably the best advice that he could have gotten. Now, this right here, this is an actual recent custom. So we got several of different customs right here. Stay tuned to the end of the video, man. I got some great surprises in store. This is kind of something that we've been piecing together. Initially, it wasn't elite, but then I'm like, dude, I got some Ultimate Edition parts laying around. So I mixed in that recent Bret the Hitman Hart Ultimate Edition from the Walmart exclusive line, the Monday Night Wars. I got that jacket, and this is kind of what he did over there in Japan, the underground wrestling that he was getting into. He was developing a name into something great, and then he ended up being part of the coolest club in the world. We got some Too Sweet action. Yes, he was a former member of the Bullet Club. The Young Bucks were rocking the house over there, and he's like, yeah, man, we're going to bring this new era into wrestling, into a new perspective, and then they ended up developing into AEW. These were kind of like the originators. This is actually one of the main reasons why they were the very first figure releases in the AEW Jazzwares line. Now, we actually do have a good handful of Jazzware figures. Got some mock, got some Lucy's, but hands down, these two in particular stand as the strongest in my AEW figure display. The Blood and Guts 100, bro. These belts were done up so much better than what WWE Mattel is putting out, even with the recent Ultimate Edition. Plus, the goriness, man, that's already a given now. The Supreme, this is kind of like its own version of the Ultimate Edition. You could definitely swap everything out. You can plug in the arms of the in-ring gear. You can plug in the arms of the entrance piece. And then, I'm going to tell you, it was also short-lived, man. These guys ended up turning on Cody in his own right. I mean, the whole backstage situation, I know he said he didn't want to talk about it in his autobiography, but you could tell, bro, that the sweat, it was real. So he ended up leaving, and then he kind of did the unthinkable, right? I know that hell froze over when CM Punk ended up coming over to WWE, but at the end of the day, you could almost apply the exact same situation because, whoa, whoa, oh my gosh, you guys. Now, we're getting into the nitty-gritty, and yes, we'll come back to him in just a sec, but we need to talk about where this whole WWE run ended up carrying into, and I'm going to tell you, it was a great story. This story so far, the whole beginning stages, where he was Stardust, where he was part of Evolution, this was coming to a head, man. It was time for Cody Rhodes to be acclaimed as the certified WWE champ of the future generation. Now, he had to go through several obstacles, and it sucks because Seth Rollins, man, he kind of helped him out. He's like, yeah, bro, I get it. Me, you, we can share the same story. If you guys don't know the story, yes, Dusty Rhodes, he had just as much influence in Seth Rollins as he did right there in Cody Rhodes. And this is kind of crazy because he was technically called one of Dusty's kids, and Cody, he didn't like it. He's like, nah, bro, I actually came out of Dude's Nutsack. You are just over here in NXT trying to develop something, and this is where the feud really carried on through, and that's the reason as to why you're seeing Seth Rollins in that Dusty Rhodes style of attire. And this is something that I would love to see now that they've kind of buried the hatchet. Now that he has claimed several victories over Seth Rollins, I got to do something, bro, about this. This would be insane, right? Let's say that these guys ended up teaming back together, and this is just some thoughts that I've been playing out, but keep in mind, this could very much still happen. These guys are still very much on the same page. They share a lot of same similarities, but I would love to pick up another one of these Seth Rollins, torso crack it, put it on Elite Cody Rhodes, and have a matchy gear right there with the polka dots. That'd be insane. Now, you don't want to talk about matchy unless if you bring main event Jey Uso, yeet, because they developed into not only WWE champs, but also tag team champs, dude. This is insane. These guys were great. They didn't have a very strong run. Matter of fact, it didn't last very long, but the fact that he was able to capture some gold prior to the actual main title picture of it all, that, sir, is a thing of beauty. So pretty damn cool that he actually kind of grew up into, instead of going straight to the bloodline at Mania, ended up coming short. And this is just as much part of the story. Like, you cannot say Cody Rhodes' story without having the bloodline incorporated into it. Yes, so that carried on to some more moves, right? Eventually, it ended up moving into the Survivor Series. We had the leader. He was actually the man that carried these guys into war, right? Out of all the top superstars from Raw, out of all the top superstars from SmackDown, this man right here was doing it up. And then he's like, oh, man, I need to get my shot. I'm going to win the Rumble one more time, two-time Royal Rumble winner. He's like, all right, yeah, I can come after Seth Rollins for the title, but that's not the title that he wanted. He made that very clear. I mean, initially, technically, The Rock was going to go in here and challenge him, right? Was it Roman Reigns against at WrestleMania? But it just wasn't playing out. The cards weren't there. There was nothing being dealt to where that was going to happen. These two eventually had to line upside. He's like, dude, he's dissing the bloodline, man. Me and you are going to come together as fam. And they pulled up shop, bro. Him, Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and this was night one, night two was actually for the main title picture, and this is pretty damn good story, bro. This couldn't have been ran out more perfect. I really loved the whole back theme to it. I liked what ended up actually occurring in the match. I mean, we had some solid legends in here that wanted to be part of the story just as much as these lads, right? We had John Cena there. We had The Undertaker. Triple H, he was there, but it was more after the match, just to kind of like celebrate and say, good job, Cody, I'm proud of you. But these two, man, technically, I think that Stone Cold Steve Austin was also supposed to be part of that. But yes, at the end of the day, you can only race the oos to one hand and one hand only. And that being right here, Cody freaking Nightmare Rhodes. And there's going to be more developments. I'm telling you, this is only the beginning of all the figures that Mattel has been putting out. They're going to keep putting out more, dude. Another one that I want to get my hands on without a shadow of a doubt, I ended up trading that ringside exclusive, which now I definitely regret because you can't even touch that damn figure in the second market. You guys know, following SummerSlam, there's a couple of different rumors that laid out. One, right? The Rock said, let me touch your title, and it was really awkward. If you guys saw that Monday Night Raw, it wasn't good, bro. There was some really sussiness to it all, but nonetheless, he's going on a hiatus. When he does come back, that's not the only damn title belt that he wants him to play. No, he wants this title. He wants to be the most electrifying man, literally, of every generation. I don't care if you're talking about Attitude Era, you're talking about current reality, and then the final boss, right? Wait, I thought The Rock was the final boss. Well, if you're talking about Cody Rhodes' story, you can actually apply that to different lads, right? Rock, okay, bet. But at the end of the day, this needs to get finished, right? As we talked about in the beginning, this where it was. This is where it is now. This will eventually come back to be, and then we're going to get the rematch of a lifetime. This is actually supposed to be WrestleMania 41, and I know it's really far out, but that's kind of how they get the stories going, man. This is going to be eventually developing into a whole reunition. Yeah, you're not going to want to miss any of that. I'm very stoked to see that, and also, definitely get your hands. The only time that we've gotten Brandy is on a Jazzwares figure. You can't say Cody. You can't have a strong man behind a strong woman. So definitely give me your thoughts of what you guys think about Cody Rhodes' story so far. I feel like this one, got some goodies, got some good stuff in store, and I cannot wait to see not this guy back, but our reigning, defending WWE Undisputed Champion, Cody Rhodes. I want to thank you guys for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, drop a like, and we'll see you, my friends, on the next one. Whoa, whoa.